Don't do it, guys. Don't place trades based on what you see here. Please consult your own financial advisors and do your own due diligence. All right, with that said, let's go. It is Sunday, September 23rd. We're going to be talking a little bit about silver, the miners, markets, etc. So, first of all, nothing really big happened over the weekend considering the markets are closed. I'm sitting at about the same stock value, portfolio value. However, on Monday, there's a few things that are going to happen. Number one, I'm going to get my $1,000 back from my Cameco put um, expiring, and I'm going to get a couple of dividends as well. So we'll see what happens on the 27th, that is. The dividends will come on the 27th, but on Monday I'll get some more cash to play with. And I'm looking at places to put this new cash, but I can't really find anything at the moment that's worth um, selling options against because the perceived volatility on all of the other stuff is just not that big. So I'm not exactly sure what else to do except, silver and uranium at the moment. So I might just re-roll some of that cash into silver and uranium. Now, speaking of silver, it's down today, Sunday night, so it doesn't bode well for Monday. Usually that's a sign that it's going to be dropping on Monday. Hopefully it just reverses and does a little wiggle there into Tuesday, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. My guess is that it's gonna go lower. I'm still waiting for that final flush out on emerging markets and the precious metals. So we'll see if that occurs. Now, as far as but I really think that we're close to that final flush out in silver. And then the reason I say that is because I've been reading and I've been watching some vids and reading some articles and looking up some financial statements from some miners, and they're again looking like they're heading to be in pretty poor shape. And what I'm guessing is going to happen is after this final flush out here, the silver will be just such a low depressed price for a month or two that things are going to start looking real scary, and there's going to be a speculative pop to pull it out of that depressed level, and it's going to breathe some life into the miners again so they can remain the horrible businesses that they are, the mining businesses, and just always on the brink of bankruptcy, just, walking on that fence. That's how it is. That's that business. So, but you know what? The perceived volatility is high, and selling options against it. So I'm betting against that volatility to occur. So, you know, I'm not too scared of it. Like I'm pretty confident that there's going to be at least a speculative pop. Those prices are pretty depressed and not really that worried. Like let's take a look at SOV here, which is the ETF, Exchange Traded Fund for silver. As you can see here, the 1 year is pretty ugly, 5 years pretty ugly. Like we're pretty much at these lows here that we had in December 2015. All right, which were really low, and look what followed afterwards, a big pop. Now, I think this pop was partly, speculative. Um, we had some policy changes happen um, at that time, and I think gold caught a bid, and silver followed. So it gave life for the miners for this much longer, and now it might have even given some false optimism to the precious metals players out there. And look what we're at now. We're back to the bottom, even below the bottom. So that's not good. Well, maybe, I don't know. Pretty much down there, 319. It's hard to see, 323. But in any case, I'm expecting a pop here at least to about maybe, 16, $17, at which point I'll be definitely unwinding some of my trades because I'm still a little bit bearish long term. I'm just bullish short term, which is kind of the opposite of what normal precious metals investors are doing usually. So in any case, that's my expectation. I do think that there's going to be another false signal here, and the market's going to get hot again, but it's going to fizzle out real quickly because there's so many miners that are just looking for those prices so they can unload some of their material and fix their balance sheets, you know. They can't sell at this price. I mean, they're selling, but it's horrible for them. You know, a lot of them, many of them are losing money hand over fist, and it's just bad. It's bad. There's a lot of things that need to go right in order for the miners, silver miners, to go up. Let's take a look at silver miners. Oops, SIL is the silver miners ETF. You can see the 5 year. The miners are actually in better shape than they were back here. So they still got a lot. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be another flush out because these guys are still trading, you know, a lot higher than they were back in 2000, the end of 2015. So, but it's overall a good sign actually if the miners are trading higher than relative to the price of the metal itself. That's a bullish sign, but I just think it's false. I think it's just false. Um, yeah, at least for the next few years, I don't think we're gonna have any rise. I think it's gonna have to scrape the bottom for about, you know, my prediction. Again, I'm not an expert, but just by reading a little bunch of stuff, I get a feeling for it. I think it's gonna have to scrape the bottom for like a good 6 months to a year, and we haven't really found the bottom yet. We thought this was the bottom, but we have to retest it in 2015 December, and we're gonna, you know, to where a lot of people, a lot of miners actually go out of business and people lose hope. Because right now, I think there's still hope out there, you know? There's so many people who are still excited about this opportunity. Oh, people, you know, prices are so low, buy, buy, buy. And, you know, people are all in. At some point, these guys are going to need their money. I mean, how many years of your life are you going to waste chasing this metal, right? So, anyways, short-term pop, long-term bear for 2, 3 years. We'll see what happens afterwards. I don't know. There's gonna have to be some miners shutting down if silver is gonna reverse course. All the silver miners, all the major ones anyway, that were alive back in 2011, they're still operating. You know, they're still surviving. Yeah, they diluted a lot of diluted their shares. They got into debt. They had to cut costs. They got to, you know, high grade whatever. But they're still alive. You know, they're still out there. So there's been some M&A, some mergers and acquisitions, but you know, I, it just doesn't look like anybody's in a bad mood. Like they're partying, you know, they're super optimistic, they're laughing on interviews. Like everything is still golden for them. They're just brushing this move off, and I think that, you know, might surprise them. This little pop that I think we're gonna get is not gonna last for very long. And I'm guessing we're just gonna head right back down and scrape the bottom for a couple more years. But we'll see. I might be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. You know, I'm still gonna be in the metals a little bit, at least in my main account. Maybe not this one. But yeah, I'm curious to find out. So tomorrow probably a bad day, but I'll be all right because, you know, I still have options ticking and it's a really well diversified portfolio. So we'll see what emerging markets and, you know, all this other stuff does. China and, you know, the my funds, dividend funds, etc. I don't know. I'm interested. We'll see what happens. I might play some trades tomorrow. I'll have a couple $1,000s to play with. Right now it's just 1100, but it'll be 2000 once the put expires, Cameco put expires. So I'll be looking for things to put my money in. I might even make a white video. What that means is that the background here is going to be white on the Robinhood website, since the market's going to be still live at 1 o'clock. So look forward to that. All right, and with that said, peace out.